weeks ago, I talked about the reason you have your dreams. And that reason is simply that you're meant to live them. You have the dreams that you're meant to live, and I have the dreams that I'm meant to live. And I want to speak a little bit more about that this week and why we dream the dreams we dream. And is there ever a time we should give them up? Hi, I'm Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success seminars, where we give you knowledge and tools to live your ultimate life. So first of all, we need to remember the truth that is often attributed to the great German philosopher Goethe, but in fact, it was spoken by Scottish mountaineer and writer W.H. Murray, and that is, and I quote, "There's nothing capricious in nature. The implanting of a desire indicates that its gratification is in the constitution of the person who feels it." End quote. Or in simpler terms, you just wouldn't have a desire unless you had the ability and the destiny to fulfill it. In other words, there's nothing capricious in nature. The creator isn't a trickster. The creator doesn't give you a desire and then say, but I'm not going to give you the ability to fulfill it. The desire and the fulfillment come in the same package, just like the oak tree is in the acorn. And if you have a true desire, a burning desire to be a, writer or an architect or a talk show host or a massage therapist or a pastry chef or to design video games, the implanting of that desire indicates that you're meant to fulfill that desire. You see, there are three reasons why people do whatever they do in life. First, it's to be happier. People do everything. They get married, they have kids, they start businesses, they go on trips, they learn to meditate, they become attorneys or doctors or whatever they become because they believe that that will bring them more happiness. No one says, I'm going to become a doctor because I know that by doing that, I will really be miserable. No. I mean, the second reason people do what they do is because they want to contribute to the happiness of others or the well-being of the planet. Same thing. If someone opens a restaurant, for example, they do it because they believe that if they serve people a beautiful meal, those customers' lives will be enriched and they'll be happier. Again, no one opens a restaurant and says, I'm going to make really disgusting food so that my customers will just have a horrible experience. No. The third reason people do what they do is because of what's called their Dharma. You've probably heard this word before. It's a Sanskrit word. And the definition of Dharma is that which upholds, not just what upholds your own life, but according to Vedic literature, when you live your Dharma, you are upholding all of creation. In fact, it says in the Vedas that when everyone is living their Dharma, the world will enter into a golden age, an age of enlightenment. In the scripture called the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that it is so important to live your Dharma that it is, quote, better to die living your own Dharma than to live the Dharma of another man. That's pretty strong. But if we believe that it's true, it kind of inspires us to live our Dharma. But how do we know what our Dharma is? Well, everyone is born with gifts and natural talents and inclinations. Going with those natural inclinations is how you live your Dharma. And when you use your gifts and your talents, you are upholding all of creation. So ask yourself, what makes you happy? Do you love music? Do you love sports? Do you love art? Do you love speaking? Do you love numbers? Do you love writing? Do you love building things, gardening? What did you love when you were a child? Well, I'm going to give you an example, speaking of children. So my daughter, Deanna, always loved fashion. Even as she was a little tiny girl, she was a little fashionista. So she went to an art college and she got a degree in fashion marketing and merchandising. But there was something else that was very unique about her. And that is she always had the ability to heal people. When she was a tiny little girl, if I had morning sickness when I was pregnant with her brother, or I had a headache or back pain, the first thing I would do was have Deanna lay her hands on me. And I always felt relief. And sometimes I was completely cured. Well, guess what? She's now a successful network chiropractor, and her practice members rave about her and her ability to heal. It was always her Dharma. I've also talked about my brother-in-law, Jonathan. From the time he was a little boy, he loved music. His parents said that all he ever wanted to do was listen to music and go to concerts and sing and play various instruments. And when he was a teen, he realized that he had an eye for talent. His parents said that he could predict groups that were going to be huge, and he would predict a group and he would say, they're just going to be a one-hit wonder. He just knew it. And he was always right. And he became a disc jockey for his college station when he was 18 and wrote a music column in the school paper. And then when he graduated from college, he wanted to be a music agent. But his parents said that the future was in computers and convinced him to pursue a career in computers. Well, after attending one of my Yes to Success seminars, where he learned that the God of it, on your understanding, gives you a talent because she expects you to use it, and gives you a desire because you have the ability to fulfill that desire. And that you, as my friend Janet Atwood would say, you love what you love for a reason. So he told his parents, thanks, but no thanks. He was not going to computer school, but he was going to be a talent agent for musicians. They were not happy with him or me until a few years later when he discovered a little group called Nirvana in a coffee house in Seattle and became their agent. And from there went on to build one of the biggest alternative music labels in the world, called Sub Pop. Nirvana's frontman, Kurt Cobain, who was one of Jonathan's very dear friends, in one of his final interviews, credited Jonathan with coining the term grunge. You know, the grunge movement. Kurt said that Jonathan used to describe the music that Kurt did and as grunge, and then eventually it turned into a major musical genre. And John appeared in Rolling Stone. He was on the cover of Spin. He has an entire showcase in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame dedicated to him and his partner and the label that they founded, Sub Pop. So whatever lights you up and makes your heart sing is what you were put on earth to do. But I just want you to know, it's not always going to be smooth sailing to the top. There will be obstacles, but you know, in Yes to Success, we always talk about that success is a journey and it's not a destination. The fun part is traveling the road towards the fulfillment of your dreams. And we live in this big classroom and it's called Planet Earth. And we're here to learn the lessons that each obstacle presents to us. Just don't get discouraged at the first or second or even third appearance of an obstacle. Don't think the destination isn't waiting just because there's a roadblock. Do what Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, says. He says that when he sees an obstacle, he doesn't get into this, oh, why me? Why me? No, he says to the obstacle, again, and I quote, he says, well, hello, little fellow. I don't know what it is that you've come to teach me, but whatever it is, I'm going to learn it so well that you will not have to come back a second time. So just learn and then keep moving and remembering there is nothing capricious in nature. And if you have a desire, it's there for you to fulfill. That's why we all have different desires. One person wants to be a photographer, another build buildings, another breed dogs, another wants to be a sculptor. No, they don't want to be a sculptor. They want to be a sculptor. Just know that whatever you love, it loves you too. And your goals want you as much as you want them. Because when everyone is living their Dharma, that is when a golden age will dawn on earth. So good luck and have fun.